Anyways, I'm not that excited for Attack of the Clones, but, well, it wasn't nearly as bad as I was expecting. Star Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. It's still not Star Wars because there's no war still. But it's okay because we're gonna get one soon. This is one of the most infamous Star Wars movies of the entire saga. People have been hating on it ever since it came out back in 2002. I went into this movie expecting to absolutely be destroyed. I wanted to dislike this movie so ridiculously much. But I actually kinda sorta came out enjoying myself with this movie. It's nowhere near good, but I find it okay, and I find it better than Phantom Menace in a lot, if not most ways. Alright, that's enough delay and digging my own grave. Time to recap the plot. This time we'll start with the opening crawl, because I forgot to do that last time. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. There is unrest in the Galactic Senate. Several thousand solar systems have declared their intentions to leave the Republic. The Separatist movement, under the leadership of the mysterious Count Dooku, has made it difficult for the limited number of Jedi Knights to maintain peace and order in the galaxy. Senator Amidala, the former Queen of Naboo, is returning to the Galactic Senate to vote on the critical issue of creating an army of the Republic to assist the overwhelmed Jedi. Senator Padme Amidala lands on Coruscant and has an attempt on her life made.
I guess I was wrong. There was no danger at all.
Okay. When her transport explodes, but turns out it was just a decoy. She is assigned with 2 Jedi protectors, the now Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi and his Padawan, the now 19-year-old Anakin Skywalker.
Relax.
The assassination attempt was done by a changeling bounty hunter, Zam Wessel, who was hired by another bounty hunter to kill Padme. Zam uses weird bug things to try to kill her, but the Jedi track her down, but before she says who the bounty hunter is, she's killed by them. Obi-Wan is then assigned to find out who the bounty hunter is, and Anakin is assigned to keep Padme safe on Naboo. Obi-Wan tracks down the bounty hunter to the planet Kamino. Anakin and Padme do some bonding and even kissed, but that pales in comparison to the fact that this scene contains the sand line. Yeah, that sand line.
Sand.
I actually clapped when I heard it. Obi-Wan finds out that the Kaminoans have been making a clone army for the Republic, even though the action hasn't really been passed yet. Anakin and Padme have a campfire scene about their kiss, and it is one of the worst scenes in the entire movie that we'll have to talk about later. Turns out the host for the clones is the bounty hunter Jango Fett. And he is also the killer responsible for the harm on Padme's life. Obi-Wan follows Jango to the Saturn ripoff Geonosis. Like, for real, George, God had the ring idea first.
Yeah, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Unlike Saturn, however, Geonosis is not a gas giant. Anakin had a bad dream about his mom in pain, so him and Padme ride off to Tatooine, because of course. And Anakin finds his mom dying at a Tusken Raider village, and when she dies, it sends him into enough rage to commit genocide on the village. And not just the men, by the way, but the women and the children too. Yoda has a vision about the ordeal with Qui-Gon Jinn. Yep, that one. He feels like something is really wrong with Skywalker, but he won't really intervene. I mean, they do go to war in this movie, as I've said, so, you know, you can't really blame him. Anyways, speaking of Qui-Gon, he was trained by Count Dooku, the mysterious Count Dooku, because Count was a former Jedi before turning to the dark side. Yeah, Sidious got a new apprentice quite quick. Poor Maul. Okay, tangent over. Anyways, Obi-Wan gets captured by Count Dooku on Geonosis, but sent a signal to Anakin, who sends it to Coruscant. More specifically, the Jedi Council. Padme decides that they need to rescue Obi-Wan, and Anakin is all like, sure, why not? Even though he says in this movie that Obi-Wan is like his father, so why not why wasn't Anakin ready, you know? Anyway, there's a CGI droid factory sequence. Anakin destroys his lightsaber, and him and Padme both get captured. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme get taken to an arena to be executed. The most important one is Padme, though, because Viceroy really wants her dead, which is pretty funny to watch.
She can't do that. Shoot her or something.
Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme survive 3 beasts long enough for Mace Windu with the coolest lightsaber in the series, which may be a purple bias because purple is my favorite color, but the gold accents are also cool. After an awesome fight between the Jedi and a droid army,
we're keepers of the peace, not soldiers. We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
They are all surrounded, but Yoda comes in with the clone army, and they escape the arena and destroy some Trade Federation's ships. Anakin and Obi-Wan go after Count Dooku, who's making his escape toward a hangar. Obi-Wan and Anakin get absolutely destroyed.
Together. You're going slowly on the left.
Taking now. No, Anakin, no! No!
Ooh, you're so good you got Mario confused.
Yoda jumps in to save the day. Literally jumps. He's crazy in action. Now, finally, the Star War has begun.
Begun. The Clone War has.
Huh? It's called the Clone Wars? It's not called Star War? Oh my god! Okay, so anyways, Padme and Anakin get married as Palpatine revels in his new clone army. The Clone Wars have begun. Contrary to popular opinions, I actually like Yoda's combat style. It seems very in character for him, using his size to his advantage and his environment. Plus, I love the CGI on him. Watching him jump around doesn't really break immersion. At least not for me. The characters are a lot better than they were in Phantom Menace, especially Obi-Wan. He got the biggest glow up between movies in terms of personality. They turn his sass up to 11, and it's hilarious. Speaking of characters, Jar Jar, surprisingly, is a lot better than he was throughout the entirety of Phantom Menace. He's just a goofball instead of an absolute idiot, which helps him. They also restricted his screen time so that when he shows up, it's plot relevant or is just a George Lucas style background character. The use of Duel of the Fates when Anakin was racing to find his mom was pretty cool. Maybe even hinting at something happening, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nah, it's not like music is an integral piece of storytelling by any means. The arena fight with all the Jedi is really cool to watch. Makes Mace Windu a complete hypocrite, which, you know, not plot relevant at all. The acting, much like the characters, are a vast improvement over Phantom Menace. Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman do a much better job than they did Phantom Menace. Okay, I think I can complain now. The Sand Line, well, very hilarious. It's not good. I talk about it here because this is This and one other scene I'll get to later can be fixed extremely easily. I know because I did, and I'm a very amateur writer. So how does this make you look, George? So the scene can play out as the film intended at first, and it's completely reasonable for Anakin to not like sand, but it's his reasoning for it coarse and rough and irritating and gets everywhere. Really? That's all you have to say about sand? Rather than him ranting about how uncomfortable it is, have him say how, like, it reminds him of his terrible childhood of slavery and being surrounded by sand all the time. But at the same time, it is really funny, so don't change a thing. Speaking of Anakin, Hayden Christensen's performance as Anakin is childish, which fits the character in this movie, but at the same time, I don't really like it. I don't know, that's all I'll say on it. Anakin and Padme's relationship is boosh. That's all it is. It's total boosh. Like, for real. Doesn't a man-child yelling about how much he hates sand and committed genocide on sand people just give you the hots, Padme? Also, Anakin, you want to get married at 19 to someone you just saw after like 10 years? I mean, I'm not judging, but... So the campfire scene, it's bad. It's really bad. The George Lucas style dialogue trademark really shines here. It's like they're reciting poetry for a bad high school play. Also, if you have to keep the scene, and if you really, really have to, at least give Anakin a reason to bring the kiss up. Like, have them maybe attempt to kiss again, and then the scene can progress as normal. Again, the best way to fix this scene is to get someone good at writing to write it. Or, you know, good, just cut it out of the movie. That works too. Okay, before I conclude things, I gotta ask, what is the lore reason, if any, as to why lightsabers turn off when dropped? Like does Qui-Gon get stabbed and then immediately think, hey, I should turn off my lightsaber using the Force? Or do the midi-chlorians just decide to turn it off when dropped? Or is it just a lightsaber mechanic? Or have lightsabers been push and hold buttons this whole time? I swear to God, how have I never seen anyone talk about this? Also, that's not a complaint, that's just a genuine question. I don't know. Okay, time to answer the question that the title of the video asked. Is this movie a cringe fest, or is it decent? Oh, yeah, it's a cringe fest. Are you kidding me? But it's also just below decent. However, don't really dread watching these movies for the first time or doing a marathon, because it's not a bad time. I found myself enjoying Attack of the Clones, even if it wasn't good. Also, I think I should state, even if you like this movie a lot, don't feel bad. It's okay to like this movie. I see what people like about it. This movie and Phantom Menace. I'm just a guy on the internet sharing his opinions on a series he really loves and cares about. I'm not trying to offend anyone. Oh boy, I am incredibly excited for Revenge of the Sith. I remember, and I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I'm so excited to watch it. I've seen little bits and clips while watching this YTP series, which is the best one I've seen in a while, so you should totally check that out too. Okay, that's enough of me. Bye!